in the centenary year of this college. You may know that this college is celebrating its centenary and established in 1922, and academic as well as cultural programs, all sorts of programs are taking place in connection with these centenary celebrations. But this pandemic situation restricts all of us to celebrate everything, mostly in an online mode. Coming to the program was scheduled, I think it was on world population, that is on 11th, but takes place today. And that too, on a most relevant topic, that is world population amid artificial intelligence and big data. I remember the controversies related to sprinkler over the COVID issues, and many of us, I think, became aware of the topic big data at that time. And I also have read something related to that topic and understood that it is very crucial in every field of life as well as administration. Firms with big data can control the world, and that too with AI is more powerful, I think. As I understand, artificial intelligence can perform tasks better than human in many ways, particularly when it comes to repetitive, detail-oriented tasks like analyzing large numbers of documents. And there it becomes very relevant in demographic studies, I think. I think big data and AI in demographic studies very well can be utilized to regulate or to organize the developmental activities or schemes, plans related to this data, I think, in many fields of life or in many fields of administration. Since we are in a digital world and this pandemic situation alerts us to be more digital, this area of talk is very important for the students, especially the students of economics. Dear students, be aware of the relevance of the celebration of the World Population Day. It's politics also, I think the students of economics should be aware of these matters, and this talk is very much important for them, I think. And to hear from a great person like Dr. Renji is also very pleasant situation, I think. Once again, I thank you, sir, on behalf of St. Berkman's College, and wish all the success to the program. And I am very happy to inaugurate the program. I really congratulate Mr. Pavanam Thomas, who is our new faculty, and I think it is his first program, official program, for organizing this program. And the entire department, especially our K. Joe is head of the department. Thank you all. I remain. Thank you all.
Thank you, Father. Now we are moving to the important part of our session. We are very privileged to have Dr. Renji George Amballoor with us today. He is currently serving as the Deputy Director at the Directorate of Higher Education, Government of Goa. He is an Associate Professor of Economics at the Government College, Kyopam. He has also held the office of the Principal, Government College of Commerce, Borda, Goa. He has bagged many research fellowships, including CS Library Fellowship, CCS Urban Governance Fellowship, and DEPO Research Fellowship. He has a wide range of research interests, including demography, development economics, and regional economics. With great pride and pleasure, I invite Dr. Renji George Amballoor for the lecture.
Morning, I'm starting.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm joining. Give me 2 minutes. Good morning. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You are audible. You are visible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Respected Principal of SP College, Reverend Father Renji Kurian, Head of the Department of Economics, Johnson Joyce, sir, Program Coordinator, Pavanam Thomas, invitees, dear students and friends, a very good good morning to all of you from Goa. World Population Day is celebrated every year on 11 July to draw the attention of policymakers, researchers, and different stakeholders on the urgency and the importance of various population-related issues. Over the years, whenever the World Population Day was celebrated, there are talks, seminars, conferences, discussions that are held, and most of them highlight population-induced challenges like unsustainable development, hunger, unemployment, aging, inequalities, climate change, and so on. There is no doubt that the population induced changes are creating these concerns and challenges for which I mentioned above. But what I feel is that we are too preoccupied with these issues as problems and continue to keep repeating it on every World Population Day. If you see the world population crisis, today it is not a crisis that is happening because of more number of people. I'll give you my justification. If you see the Indian scenario, 18 states and 7 union territories are already having a replacement rate of 2.1. Replacement rate is the number of children replacing every couple. So we already have a rate which is less than 2.1. For example, Kerala has got 1.5. We have got Tamil Nadu with 1.5, Karnataka with 1.7, Assam with 1.9, and so on. Secondly, what we can see is, you see the present scenario. The TFR has come down, total fertility rate has come down, the household size has got reduced, the birth rate, death rate, and infant mortality rate also has got reduced. Again, there are micro studies which tell about cosmopolitan cities, wherein they say that in some cosmopolitan cities, the replacement rate has come down to 1, and in very prosperous cosmopolitan cities, it is almost nearing 0. This is on the one side, or one side of the story. On the other side, what do you find? The technological disruptions are taking place at a very, very fast speed. We find increased application of artificial intelligence. My simple example for that will be, if you want to travel from Chennai to Kottayam, you use a Google map, and what does a Google map says? First you go to Chingavanam, and from Chingavanam it will tell you to proceed to Kottayam. Then you have got something called as a machine learning. An example for that is, you have got a Kottayam Medical College. It has got a medical records of patients for last 5 years. It wants to classify the records on the basis of 2 factors, on basis of gender and also on the basis of type of diseases. You can use machine learning and get this work done very fast. Another technology is a deep learning. In the case of deep learning, again an example for you is, you have got the case sheet of the patient. Case sheet means you have got a green sheet where the doctor writes your medical history. So you have got a case sheet of 10,000 patients. You apply deep learning, the computer will do the different combination, permutation, and will come out saying that there are 10 number of patients who have got a new type of disease. Then you have got the Internet of Things. Like today you find at many places home automation. That is, you need not put off the light. When you enter your room, automatically light is on. Similarly, when you go out of the room, automatically light is off, to optimize the use of energy. Then you have got a cyber physical system. Cyber physical system, you find it in factories. Your machinery will be having sensors, and the sensor will be continuously providing data to the cyber world, to the cloud, because today every storage is on the cloud. In the cloud, that data will be analyzed, and they will tell the firm that your machinery will break down after 2 days, so do the maintenance. Then you have got a cloud computing, bigger space for computing, virtual reality, big data analytics. Lord, everything that you do today, because of your dependence on technology, is a data. How you react to your Twitter, comments that you put on Facebook, the photos that you upload on Instagram, and so on. From every small bit of your behavior, lot of data is generated. Then you have got 3D printing, nanotechnology, and so on. So what has happened? Because of these technological disruptions, you are finding the fourth industrial revolution. You can see. Then you can see the revolution in the education sector called as Education 4.0. And also, slowly you are going to witness a revolution in this society called as Society 5.0. When I am explaining the points, I will explain you what are these. See, my purpose in telling you all these new technological terms is not to frighten you, but to tell you that the understanding of these terms can help you as students of economics, as students of social science, to come out with innovative solutions for many of the problems that you see around you. Now, another interesting thing also I can share with you, many of these young experts in these technology areas which I mentioned above are experts through self-learning. That they have not gone to an university to learn it, they have self-learned it. So today what I'm trying to tell you is, you can be at any place, still you can learn all these technologies. You have got something called as the MOOCs, massive online open courses. Then there is something called SPOCs, that is special small private online courses. That is, if the SP college is creating an online course only for first year degree students of economics, it can come in the category of SPOCs. And today corporate sector is also developing because it is work from home. So you cannot get all the employees assembled at a particular place for training. So you have got corporate open online courses. Only what is needed is you should have a strong willingness to do it. My main submission in today's presentation is to look how these new technologies can be applied for addressing population-related challenges and how these challenges can be converted into opportunities. So I will basically deal with 6 areas. These 6 areas are population-related challenges. One of the challenge that I would like you to look into is about the food security. Creating food security is a major challenge for the policymakers and the political leadership, not only in India, throughout the world. There are different ways to or different factors that contribute to food security. I will take a small part of it. I will take the production aspect. Production of food grains plays a major role in bringing about food security. But one of the difficulties encountered by the farmer is to find out the right amount of water needed for cultivation. As you know, in India, our 60% of our agriculture activity happens in dryland area. And we follow what is called as a wetland farming, a type of farming which needs more water. So what we have to do, what we want to know is, we want to know what is the moisture content in the soil. Why? Once we know that, you can ensure that optimum water is provided to the plants. So today, what they are using is, they are using big data and AI. For what purpose? To collect the moisture of the soil. They are collecting images of the soil through drones, through sensors, through satellites, and through mobile phones. Then they are analyzing this data and images, and they are coming to the optimum amount of water that is needed. Similarly, we also find that the big data and AI is increasingly used for crop protection. In the sense that, see, now only after the pest or insect attacks the crop, you come to know it. But using this new technology, you can know even before it occurs. Similar is a case with applying fertilizers. Today, what we find in our agriculture sector, is that we are putting more fertilizer than what is needed. And in that process, over a period of time, you are having diminishing returns to find out the optimum fertilizer to be added. Again, more important is predicting drought. When the drought is going to occur, you have got the data, climatic data for rainfall, the drought data for last 100 years. On the basis of that, you can predict when there is going to be another drought, major drought, and another major flooding. Again, if you have got the data of production of paddy for last 100 years, you can use that data. With the help of AI, you can find out which is the best season to grow that crop in order to maximize the productivity. So if you can, so my point of argument is that if you can apply this new technology, we can increase the food security in the country. Going to the next point, the health entitlement. In a big country like India, with about 1.39 billion people, ensuring health entitlement is a big challenge. You might have also read about out-of-pocket expenditure. About when I go to hospital, when I pay 100 rupees as bill, 60 to 65% of it I have to pay from my pocket. And this out-of-pocket expenditure is again making that health entitlement a difficult challenge. See, during the COVID second wave, what was happening, which still that wave is continuing, when it was at the peak, what you found was that a COVID affected person had to move from hospital to hospital in search of bed. When he goes to the first hospital, he said bed is not available. Then he goes to second hospital. So getting a hospital bed was a difficult issue. So what happened? If you could not be hospitalized in time, what happened? There was every likelihood that person dies. And that has really happened in almost every state. So what we can do? We can use AI and collect real-time data. Real-time data means what? Now, at this point of time, at 10:58 a.m. on 16th July, how many beds are available or how many beds are occupied? On real time using AI, and then you can ensure that the beds are allotted in the most efficient manner. There is a good example from Kerala itself. The Ernakulam district had a COVID war room, and the COVID war room was managed using all this technology. So if you go to the COVID, if you go see the giant screens in the COVID war room, it was collecting all the real-time data, and once you apply for a bed, it was immediately sanctioning it, avoiding all these confusions. Then another example from the health sector is that many of you, in the sense that youngsters are wearing some type of fitness band or fitness lockets. Why? Basically to monitor your health parameters, yes, on that too again on real-time basis, and accordingly plan your activities. That I will have a fitness band. On the basis of the inputs provided with fitness band, I will decide that today I will go for half an hour jogging. Tomorrow I will decide to go for a 45 minutes jogging. Is there any advantage? It is basically using the new technology, sensors and all. Yes, even before you become sick, you can know that you are going to become sick. So what is the advantage of that? You can take preventive measures. And during the first wave and second wave of COVID, we can find that lot of people, because of the poor availability of diagnosis, poor availability of testing facilities, had to move from an above BPL family to a below BPL family because their health expenditures were too high. Now, some of the companies which are manufacturing fitness band and lockets have invested lot of money on research today. You know what they are trying to do? They are trying to connect your fitness band with your family doctor, nearest hospital and ambulance. Assume that you are in your deep sleep at 2 a.m. in the morning. You get a mild heart attack. You do not realize it because you are in the sleep, but your fitness band or the locket has captured that change in the health parameter. What it will do? It will immediately signal your doctor, immediately signal the hospital and also the ambulance driver. When the ambulance driver comes and gives you the calling bell, then you will realize that you had a mild heart attack, and the driver will tell that you have to be immediately hospitalized for medication. This is not a science fiction. It is almost a reality. Some part of it is almost a reality with Apple digital watches. Then I come to the third factor, demographic dividend. My young students who are there in this online lecture are all a part of the demographic dividend. According to the 1991 census, about 65% of the population is below 35 years of age. That is one part of the story. The other part of the story is what? We are already having a new industrial revolution called as Industrial Revolution 4.0. As students of economics, you will know about the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum, in one of its report, is saying that all the world countries are today facing what is called as a reskilling emergency. What is that reskilling emergency? Because we are not taught what Industrial Revolution 4.0 needs. The Industrial Revolution 4.0 needs workers with different skill sets. But our present system is not teaching you that. Then there is a world famous research agency called the McKinsey Global Institute. It conducts a lot of studies. What it did was that it interviewed young people and also the CEOs from 9 different countries, including India, Brazil, Germany, and UK. So all the CEOs were asked one question. What was the major problem they face when they tried to recruit the freshers? So what the CEOs said is that about 50 to 55% of the CEOs told that many of the entry-level jobs are remaining vacant because the candidates are not having the required skills. That report also speaks about employment crisis in many countries, including India. That employment crisis has got 2 dimensions. One is our youth is not able to get employed. That means the unemployment queue is extending kilometers and kilometers. On the other side, you are not getting youth with the necessary critical skills. So on the one, this is a paradox. On the one side, large number of youth are remaining unemployed. On the other side, what you find is you are not finding the demographic dividend, which has got the critical skill to be employed in the industry. So what is our main concern in a country like India? Unskilling. We have to unskilling means we have to unlearn what we have learned. Then we have to reskill. New skill has to be given to you. And also upskilling. Just because I am getting skilling today, I am getting some training today, that is not sufficient. After 2 weeks, I should get more training. And this unskilling, upskilling, and reskilling can be taken up for a massive country of 1.39 billion only with the use of new technologies. Otherwise, it is impossible to reach each and every one in that demographic dividend. So this new technology is providing you what? It is providing you ample opportunities for lifelong learning. Previously, what was our concept, traditional concept, that after you do PG, you will do a doctorate and your studies are over. No, today it is not like that. You have got what is called as lifelong learning. You can learn throughout the life. And there is a beautiful short video of Bill Clinton saying that at the age of 70, how he is able to study physics. The video is there. You can watch. You can actually YouTube it. You will get it, and it is convenience learning. You need not study at the standard academic time. Study at any time. And today, what is happening is a lot of companies are giving lot of importance for certifications. Somewhere in microeconomics, you might have studied about asymmetric information. So there you might have studied about something called as signaling. In a class of 50, in a class of 35, all of you get a first class, all of you get a distinction, and you are going for a job. So you want to signal to the employer that you are better than all the 34 others. How will you do? All of you are having a degree, but you are also having a certification. How can you get? So that certificate can act as a green signal for the employer that all other remaining 34 has got only a BA degree, but this guy has also got BA degree in economics and also certification from NSE, that is National Stock Exchange, that you are you can deal in that you have studied some courses in derivatives. So that can really help. How can you do all this? In the conventional system, it will be difficult to do it, but using your AI, big data, you can actually do it. Again, one more change is being witnessed in the economy. Today, we are speaking about something called as a gig economy. So, gig economy, what do you find is the world of stable, lifelong employment is going away. That means you will not get, today we are speaking about economy where there will be no stable, lifelong employment. Today, it is all short-term contract employment. So in the short-term contract employment, who will employ you? Only if you have the experience, if you have got the certification, and if you have got the relevant skills. From where can you get it? You can use the MOOCs courses, the online learning platforms, and get it. Let me go to the third aspect of it. That is, many a times population dynamics is charge sheeted for lack of sustainable development. For all unsustainable development that is happening, one of the charge sheet is on population. But my point of argument is that the population, even if population is high, we can bring about sustainable development. One of the initiatives that is happening throughout the world for promoting sustainable development is something called as a smart city initiatives. What happens in the smart city initiatives? You can use all this new technology to monitor the environment on real time basis. So you will come to know that where there is illegal quarrying, where the sand extraction is there, where there is dumping of waste, everything on real time basis you can collect data. Second, in many of the smart cities are famous today, except especially London, because of the environmental aspects. Because of the smart city initiatives, they are able to bring down the carbon footprint. The carbon footprint is the carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide emission. You might have already studied that it is creating a hole in the ozone layer. Which is creating a number of climate related problems for the economy. Similarly, for monitoring the solid waste management. See, at many places we can see the dustbin, the public dustbin overflowing into the roads, into the rivers, into the lakes. But if you go to many of the European countries, what you find is public dustbins are there, but all these public dustbins have got sensors. So this sensor, once the dustbin is full, the sensor on the dustbin will immediately contact the truck driver to come and collect it. Today, what is happening in our regions? Dustbins are full. There is no communication received by the truck driver that at a particular place dustbin is overflowing. So as usual, he will come for his round every day. Many of the smart cities are today able to manage traffic congestion. Because what we find today is that the number of middle class families have increased. Number of billionaires have also increased in a poor country like India. So the number of vehicles that are registered, four-wheeler that are registered, has also increased, creating a lot of traffic congestion. Parking is a major issue. You may have to take 3 rounds of the city to find a parking place. But in smart cities, what they do, they have for every parking lot will have a sensor, and the sensor, once you log into that app, that sensor will tell you where the parking place is. And even if you are 1 kilometer away from the parking space, you can have what a facility to say that you are going to park it there. Sensors will allow you to do the booking of parking space also. And again, many smart cities have used sensors, AI, and big data to predict disasters, and also how to have a quick response if there is a disaster. Good example is that of Japan. Now, I come to the next factor which I wanted to discuss. Aging. Aging is a challenge associated with the demographic scenario in the country. What we find today is that the life expectancy has increased thanks to the developments that are taking place in medical science and technology. People are living for more number of years, and many of the European countries are today speaking about employment after 65 years. There is a book written by two of MIT professors, genetic engineers of MIT. The title of the book is Death of the Death. So what they are trying to say is that they are saying that research is at a very advanced stage, and by 2045 you will have the privilege to postpone your death. They also say that the aging can be reversed using something called as bioengineering. So why I gave you this example is that, so you will have people who will be elderly. You cannot just say that they are a challenge, they are a problem of population and leave it there. But we have to see how the technology can be used to address the aging issues. Here I will take you to Japan. Japan has implemented something called as Society 5.0. And Japan is one of the countries with a large number of elderly population. The number of elderly population is so big that they do not have youngsters, young family members, even to speak to them, the elderly people. So Japan has developed robots. Robots will speak to the elderly. Similarly, to look after their health needs and other requirements, again, every family there will be a robot to look after this elderly. So what they have done is, Japan has implemented something called as Society 5.0. What they are doing is, the elderly people will have devices which will have sensors. So it will capture all this information. It will send it to the cloud. The cloud will analyze all the inputs, and then it will advise the human beings, advise the elderly people what to do next. So why they have implemented Society 5.0? It is to improve the ease of living of the aged people. So there is a solution out. Aging cannot be a problem. There is a solution also for it. Then let me tell you my purpose of bringing AI and big data in our discussion on World Population Day is to create some interest in you, or to showcase some of these technologies. They are actually around you. You are heavily dependent on these technologies, knowingly or unknowingly, and you cannot live without these technologies. That is the state today. But somehow we do not know in that technological form. We know it as some devices. Again, today you take any sector of the economy, decisions are going to be data driven. If I take an example from academic side, the college has got what is called as a NAAC grading. How does a NAAC grading come to a college? What happens is, you have to upload data. On the base of data, 70% will be decided by the computer marks, grade, and remaining 30% by a field visit. Take the case of NIRF ranking. Again, the college has got an NIRF ranking. It is again data driven. You take the case of a stock exchange. Even in the stock exchange, what I'm trying to say is that even in the stock exchange, the speculation is data driven. Even the speculators are using data. Here I will give you one good example. On June 15th, 2021, last month, if you can go back and check the headlines in most of the newspapers and electronic media, was that Nikhil Kamath, CEO, Zerodha is a investing platform. Investing. Say if you want to do online investing, they help you. So the headline was Nikhil Kamath beats Grandmaster Vishwanathan Anand in a charity event called Checkmate COVID. So there was a charity event, chess game. They were raising funds for the COVID affected people. So they played together. So what happened was that initially the moves of Nikhil Kamath was not very strong moves, not very efficient moves. But after some time, his moves were 98.9% accurate. So Vishwanath Anand found that there was something fishy, so he withdrew. He did not allow the game to stop. He withdrew from the game. So how did later on, it was played on a platform called chess.com. So later on, chess.com did a data analysis of the games played by this Nikhil Kamath. And they found that there is a big variation. Initially, when he was playing, his accuracy rate, the efficiency of his moves were only 60%. Suddenly, it went to 98.9%. If it was not a data-driven scrutiny, we would not have found that the Nikhil Kamath has used some computer-aided devices to make excellent moves. And later on, what he did was that once it was told, he said sorry, and the entire issue was resolved. So my point is, every aspect of it, even the game is data-driven. So, and because it is a data-driven economy, there are different forms of data analytics. And this data analytics is going to provide you a lot of employment opportunities. See, if you want to be a part of that employment opportunity, if you want to tap it, you should have three qualities. One, you should be skilled for extracting, filtering, and processing big data. You should be good at data visualization. Where data visualization means what? You are using Excel and converting your table into diagrams, graphs, line graphs, bar charts, data visualization. And third part is data storytelling. Most important thing that is missing in all of us is that we are good in analyzing the data, we are good in presenting the data, but we are not good in telling the story about the data, or a story that has come because of the data. If you can master all this, your scope, your employment opportunities are tremendous. Our conventional curriculum may not have all this new technology incorporated in the syllabus. Do not waste your time till the syllabus and curriculum is changed. You can go to internet. Tremendous opportunities are there for learning, provided you are self-motivated and you're positive. When I speak about the technology, I should also tell about the concerns about the technology. When you are using the new technology, we should also take due care to address the concerns like privacy. You are going to a doctor. You are giving the doctor is having a conversation with you, and lot of your medical data is collected. So you don't want everybody to know about it. Privacy, security of the data. The data that you collect should be secure. reliability of the technology that is collecting the data may not be reliable. Like if there is poor connectivity, what will happen to the Google Meet? So the technology should be reliable. Then there is lot of racial and gender discrimination, biases, and so on. You know why? Why all this? Most of them are happening. See, for the computer to study, they need a training data set. That is on the one side. On the other side, they like our brains, the computers have got what is called as a neural network. They will study the patterns and they will say that these are the new patterns which are coming from the data. What is happening? There is in both this in selecting the training data set and in interpreting the emerging patterns, social science perspective is not at all there. If there is no social science perspective, all this information that is gathered through new technology will not be socially useful. So let me conclude by speaking about an editorial which has come in a journal called Nature. It has come last year. The title of the article is Economist and Social Scientist Solve Big Societal Problems by Working Together. This was the title of the article. And what was the gist of the article? The article shows how economists and artificial intelligence scientists can come together to address major socioeconomic problems. So my point of argument is that all these population related issues can be solved, can be addressed if there is a collaboration between economists and artificial intelligence scientists. Today, what is happening is that all of us are working in silos, in different glass houses, with no communication and no interaction. That should end. I take this opportunity to thank the principal of SB College for giving me a wonderful opportunity to present my viewpoints on the World Population Day. I also thank the head of the department and also the coordinator, Pavan Thomas, for inviting me for this session. I should also thank Srija for her wonderful prayer song and all what is said good about me. Thank you. In case you have got any questions to ask, you are free to ask me.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable session. Now it's a time for the interactive section. Students can unmute their mic and ask questions now one by one.
No, they are asking.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, sir, I am Joyce from the Department of Economics. Sir, it was a nice presentation. You have talked nicely about the other side of the issues or the things that we can think about when we are thinking about the Population Day. And I think the crux of your idea is a lot of employment opportunities or are now arising from these two technologies, artificial intelligence and other technologies. So it means that a lot of investment or a lot of changes in our curriculum to be undertaken in these years. I think by profession, I think you are the Deputy Director of College Education, Government of Kerala. See, we as an autonomous institution are in the midst of a syllabus revision now. What are your suggestions? You are also an economist by profession also. What are your suggestions about the changes that we can have in our syllabus in order to cater the needs of the modern society, so that our students should be more equipped in the real world? Your suggestions are most welcome.
Yeah. There are 2-3 suggestions which I can give you. One is when we are revising our syllabus, there should be a small slot for the students to study basic programming. Second is an example. There is something called as a market basket analysis. If you can go to Scopus and find out, market basket analysis basically tells you what is the most frequently ordered item by a customer. If you see this market basket analysis, 90% of the articles are written by computer science teachers. It is not a domain area. It is a domain area actually of economics and marketing students. No, why? So that is happening. So why? Because we are not included it. Then there is something called as if so when we speak about a preference, like in economics we speak about a preference, we say that the consumer prefers the product or consumer does not prefer the product. We are speaking about crisp sets. Crisp set means it can take only 2 values, either yes or no. You can teach the students some basics of fuzzy logic. So what does the fuzzy logic says? The fuzzy logic will will teach you that nothing. We are living in a world which is very uncertain. So what happens is the example that I can give you is, say 9 o'clock is a reporting time. So there may be somebody who reported at 9 o'clock, somebody who may reported at 9:02, 9:03, 9:04. But can you say that those who are not reported at 9 o'clock are absent? They have come late? No. So what we can do is we can use the fuzzy logic there. So in the fuzzy logic, what we'll say? The person who comes at 9 o'clock will have 1 as membership. Those who have come as at 1.2 minutes those who have come at 9.2 minutes will have 0.98 membership, like that. So it becomes more realistic. Similarly, something on the personal finance, the student should be able to how to means when the student pass out, when the student gets a degree, when they does the post graduation, comes to the job market, he gets a job, but he does not know how to manage his personal finance. Then usually what happens is it is all going by what others say. So these are my few suggestions. Hello.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Students can ask questions. Please take this opportunity.
If they do not want to ask me a question right now, my email ID is already there. You can email me. I can also answer there.
Hello, sir. Good morning. My name is Rudrag. I am from second MA.
Yeah.
My basic question is that, sir, we know that many countries like China, Russia, they have mass surveillance systems, cameras everywhere. So, in a world where countries are becoming more hyper nationalistic or dictatorial, democracy is becoming more dominant. Do you think big data and AI have a stake on this?
No. So what I'm trying to say is that, see, when anything has to be monitored, we are using some data set which will help the computer in taking decisions. So when the data set is selected, there is no social science perspective in that. There is no inputs taken from social scientists. If you take the inputs from social scientists, many of the evils like surveillance in a dictatorial thing, all this can be avoided.
Sir, sir, I am Pavanam Thomas. Sir, thank you for your thought-provoking session. So, in the coming days, our department is organizing a clubhouse debate on the Indian government approach on demographic dividend. Sir,
Okay.
what is your take on our government's approach on demographic dividend? Is the policies is in right direction, or like is it actually leading to a liability, demographic liability? Sir, what is your take on that, sir?
There are many initiatives taken by the government for tapping the demographic dividend. I will narrate a small incident and leave it to you. That is, a group of three students from engineering college wanted to start a publishing company. Publishing company means they were supposed to do only online sales. Get the book published in some other state at a very cheap rate, competitive rate. And whenever there is a demand, they will get it into that particular premises and sell it. But then, even though we are having all this, the startup policy, Make in India policy, these three students were told that since it is, you cannot do it from your residence, you require a health certificate, you require a certificate from the fire station and also from the health, wherein the students are going to merely sell the books online. They are not even printing the book. They are not even storing it. They are just going to do it online. So that is what I have to say. That means we have got a lot of rules, schemes and programs, but the implementation is still a difficult process. For that, we need a total cultural revolution in our government service. Subordinate officers, they should be mentored. There should be more awareness building. Their working culture should change. Otherwise, tapping demographic dividend will be a big issue.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
So my name is Alan James. We've heard that data is a new oil, and all the big companies are managing all our data. And as an economist, what is the role of us in the data managing, data analysis? Because all our data, what we prefer to buy, what we consume, everything is stored with these big gigantic companies. And what are the role of we budding economists in this sector?
Since we already we are exposed to econometrics and other data processing softwares, we are at an advantageous position. But only what is needed is that we have never been exposed to deal with such a large quantity of data. We have worked with, what economists have done is that they have worked with only some amount of data, not a very, very huge number. So that is our one disadvantage. Second is, we have to improve our data visualization, how we present the data. And the third biggest challenge for economists is, we are not able to tell a story about the data. Like, we are so abstract in our presentation. We are so abstract when we are dealing with the data. We should be, like, you see the case of a movie, or take the case of a serial. Why do people at that particular time every day come to watch that serial? Because there is a story, interesting story. Our data, our research also should have such a interesting story for somebody to notice it, somebody to look into it, and somebody to act upon it. So the students of economics are at an advantage, provided you do some online courses and improve your data analysis skills.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello.
I think there is no more questions. As part of the Population Day celebration, the department conducted several competitions. It's time to announce the winners of the competition. I invite Professor Pavanam Thomasa to announce the winners.
First of all, I congratulate all our students for their enthusiastic participation. Now I'm happy to announce the winners of the competition. Our winners of our SRI competition, first prize goes to Advaith S, first BA, and second prize goes to Nikhil K, first BA. And part of our book review competition, first prize goes to Meryl Aib Shaji, third BA. Second prize goes to Amala V. Anil, first MA. I congratulate all the winners. The e-certificates will be provided today. The prizes will be awarded later. Thank you.
Congrats to all the winners. We are coming to the end of the session. I invite Riturak MS from 2nd PG to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good morning to all dignitaries and my friends. It is my privilege to propose a vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of those who worked hard to make this program a success. First and foremost, on behalf of St. Berkman's College and Department of Economics, I would like to convey my heartfelt gratitude to our chief guest, Mr. Renji George Amballoor, for gracing this occasion. Thank you, sir. I'd like to thank our principal, Reverend Father Renji, for gracing the occasion with his presence and inaugurating this program. I would also like to thank the HOD of our department, Johnson K. Joyce, and all the teachers for being in this session and supporting us throughout. A special mention and gratitude would go to the coordinator of this program, Mr. Pavanam Thomas. I would also like to thank each and every student who took their time and involved and participated in this program. And congratulations to all the winners too. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
It's the end of the program. Have a nice day. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Pavan.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your.
And you have to organize many more.
Thank you, sir.
Since you have started with me, you cannot end now.
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Students are requested to fill the feedback form as well as their attendance.